Get ready for the show, it's about to begin. Pro fan talk when we dive right in. Sports talk, hot takes, ain't nothing we lack. We the real fans, nothing holding us back. Mic check, 1, 2, y'all know the drill. We bringing the energy, we keep it real. Touchdowns on liquid air, on the slam dunks on the court. Every sport, every game, we holding down the fort. We breaking down the plays, dissecting the stats. Pro fan talk, we keeping it fat. Debating with passion, no filter, no doubt. We the voice of the fans, we scream and we shout.
What's going on, folks? It's Coach Marcus Pro Fan Talk. We are live at lunch. Figured I'd get with you for a little bit. We got some good stuff going on. Of course, you see me rocking the old school Eagles logo, Kelly Green, matching Saquon on the cover of Madden 26. That was a cool announcement. And I was also, as soon as I started the video, I got, I can't show it on the thing, but I got Vic Fangio. I'm listening to his press conference, hearing the stuff that he's got to say. But yeah, real good good news for Saquon. I'm not buying into all of the curse nonsense and all that kind of stuff. Although I did think I was trying to find the picture of Geno Steaks, because I thought that was a cool. I thought that was a cool little pub. Here we go. Yeah, I thought that was pretty cool by them. Even though, if you from this area, you know that Geno's is not the best steaks. They're not the worst, but they're definitely not the best. There are some better options. However, I ain't gonna get mad at them for capitalizing on this Steakwans. That was pretty clever. And they redid the whole building and all of that kind of stuff. I was like, that's kind of dope. I'm not going all the way down there to get a cheesesteak. My first cheesesteak experience in Philadelphia was at Geno's. And I didn't know what I was doing. I didn't know what I was ordering. And I was basically like, do what you do. This is y'all thing. I'm new here. Do what y'all normally do. So man, they got the cheesesteak and they it was a big one. It was I got fried onions on it, a little bit of mayo on the bottom. Um, and at the time, I didn't know what type of cheese they used on cheesesteaks. We didn't have cheesesteaks in Cincinnati. We had a Penn Station and we just ordered a cheese. We just ordered a cheese sub. I think maybe they called them cheesesteaks. I don't remember. And we used to get it. I never suggested one type of cheese or another on the sandwich. And all I know is I looked up and I see this dude with this big old ladle of Cheese Whiz putting it over the steak, and I had a slow motion moment. I was like, no, because I abhor Cheese Whiz. I'm not a huge cheese guy anyways, but Cheese Whiz is like, that'll make me gag. So I managed to find a couple bites that wasn't just overgrossed with the Cheese Whiz, and then honestly, I think I ended up throwing it away. I think I took like 2-3 bites. I ended up throwing it away because I couldn't get past the Cheese Whiz. Now, subsequently after that, I found some good spots that had some really good cheesesteaks. It's hard to really mess up a cheesesteak unless you're just doing something that you ain't got no business doing, or you don't know what the hell you're doing. But it's kind of hard to mess up a cheesesteak. However, in lieu of everything that's going on, congratulations to Geno's getting the Madden endorsement, and I think that's pretty cool. Whoever did that did a good job of putting the new stuff on the restaurant, making it look cool. I thought that was good. Yo, Chris, man, I spit that stuff out so fast. Yeah, Cheese Whiz ain't it. So, but subsequently I've had some good stuff. But in any case, Saquon is the guy right now. He's on the cover. I'm not worried about the curse. They should have alternate covers. They should have an alternate cover with Jeff Stoutland on it, They should have an alternate Madden cover with the Eagles offensive line on it. They should. I'm trying to think who else would be on that alternate. Obviously, Jalen Hurts. Um, they should have an alternate cover with a close up of the tush push. That should be an alternate cover. Um, yeah, they should have a lot of different things going on, man. That would be fun. But listen, man, we just gonna talk about it for a minute. Y'all know the rules of the game. This is live at lunch, so we gonna go till about 12:50. That'll give you plenty of time to get yourself together, finish your sandwich, wash your hands, and get back to work. So we gonna do that today. But um, I'm really looking at how we are reloaded on the Eagles' offensive line to get ready for this year, and it is going to be sensational. I think our offensive line really hasn't lost a step. I think we'll be fine with Mekhi Becton gone. Um, I think Tyler Steen will be able to handle his business, or we're gonna have one of these rookies that's gonna be able to step up. We have a um, really good track record with young offensive linemen. And again, Jeff Stoutland is the best in the business. Period. You cannot argue that. Stout is the best in the business. So he is going to have the new guys in there. They've been at OTAs, and they've been getting it done. And that's the one place that I go back maybe 4 seasons. And even when Kelsey was still doing his thing here, our offensive line, if they would have fed our running backs the way they fed Saquon this year, and it kind of irks me that the only reason they let Saquon run the way he did was because they paid him so much money. We had the offensive line to do anything we wanted, and we should have did it, but we didn't. And that's water under the bridge. Now we could have did it with Miles Sanders. We could have did it with DeAndre Swift. But when Saquon came to town, they changed their tune finally, and we ran the ball like we were a team that knew how to run the ball, and it worked. We always dabbled in it, but they would never commit to it. If back in the 3-4 seasons ago, if Miles Sanders got 15 carries, he was doing something that day. You know, our running backs with our offensive line, our running backs should never have less than 20 carries. If we have less than 20 carries, then Jalen Hurts needs to be throwing for like 500 yards, and Devontae and AJ need to be going off. With our offensive line, that like nobody could stop us, but we just didn't tap into it like we should have, and everybody knew we could have. We had with Jason Kelsey and what he was doing. It was crazy. We could have been unstoppable, but they, for whatever reason, they just never tapped into it like we should have tapped into it. I don't know why we didn't do that. So um so we'll see what's going to happen. We'll see what's going to happen this year. I think it's going to be more of the same. I think we're going to be in a better situation when Saquon comes off the field. Now, I will say this: I am not sure of the home run capabilities of AJ Dillon. I don't know who is gonna if if Saquon is not in the game, who's the home run threat? Kenny Gainwell could. Kenny Gainwell would make you think. Kenny Gainwell would make you think, but I wouldn't call him a home run hitter. Every now and then he would do some things and get loose, but that's not who you game planning. So I would always let me see. What's this down there? Uh-oh. What did they do? They changed all this up. News, news, news. Yeah, they used to have a depth chart, but I don't see it no more. I don't know what's going on. I'm gonna see who the other running backs are. Eagles depth chart. Is this old? This might be old. Let me see. Jimmy Kimsky. August 9th. This is 2022. Lord have mercy. It's got to be here somewhere. 2019. Wow. Can't even, it's kind of hard to find. Projected depth chart. I can do a projected depth chart, but even just show me this chart. Will Shipley is the name I was trying to think of. But I haven't seen enough of Will Shipley to think he's a home run hitter. What's up, Quinn? Yeah, I got it. I got it on my phone. So I saw it. It just ended. So I'm gonna have to call to see if there's a way I can stream those press conferences if I'm live. I don't know. But so we got Shipley is not a third back. AJ Dillon is the backup. So we're losing a little shake and bake because Kenny Gainwell could do that. Shipley can do that. Shipley just don't have enough snaps. Now, AJ Dillon, I'm gonna have to go back and watch a little tape on him just to see, is he straight downhill? Is he straight, north-south type runner because he's so big? I'm gonna have to get back in the film room and watch some tape on him to see what we have as the backup because we gonna need him. And if we can still smash it down your throat with the backup, because he's big enough. He's big enough. But I'm really interested to see what type of back he is after coming off that concussion injury, the neck injury, I think it was. Not concussion, but the neck. So also I want to see, and I yelled for it last year a lot. I want to see more zone reads. I want to see more plays where Saquon does not have to bounce it all the way back or cut it all the way back. I want to see more like that. So we'll see what's going to happen with that. But we got a lot of work to do, and some of these young fellas has got to get some snaps, and that's what OTAs and training camp is for. So we'll see what they're going to see. But I definitely be looking for a video about that, about AJ Dillon and the type of back he is and how he's going to fit. I mean, anybody can fit behind our offensive line. Anybody can do that. But I want to see how Patullo is going to use him and use Saquon. I really want to see some more of those zone reads. I said it all last year because remember when everybody was talking about Eric Dickerson, and I was like, nah, Saquon need to be following Terrell Davis. And that's what they did. But if you ever go back and watch some old tape of the Denver Broncos, look at the zone reads that they used to run with that offensive line, because that offensive line at that time was the best in the business. And that's why Terrell Davis was the MVP that year. Saquon was the only other back to get 2,000 yards and the Super Bowl ring. The only thing he didn't get out of that was the MVP to get the trifecta. Because the Chiefs did a pretty good job of kind of shutting them down, but it came at a cost, because whenever you got to bring up that extra safety, that means you leaving guys one-on-one with Devontae and AJ, and that's just bad for business. And you see what happened with the dagger, and people forget how fast Devontae Smith is. They just forget that. I don't know why. But Devontae Smith just ran by folks in the Super Bowl. He don't look like he running, but ain't nobody catching him. So when you bring up that safety, or you bringing somebody up to the line of scrimmage to support the run, and rightfully so, you do that at risk to your secondary. And the Chiefs effed around and found out. And all of that talk, and this is kind of where I go on my soapbox again, all of that talk about Jalen Hurts not being able to throw the ball and throw deep and all of that nonsense, that you see what he did at the most important time. You look at Jalen Hurts' stats in the playoffs. Now, if they want to call Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson and all them other quarterbacks that they want to put in front of him, if they want to call them guys elite, then what we got to do is put that caveat and say they're elite in the regular season. And you can have it. Go ahead. Being good in the regular season don't get you deep in the playoffs. Being good in the playoffs gets you deep in the playoffs. So people argue about this stuff all the time, and I've always been the same. You guys have heard me say this many times. Whoever your top four, top five quarterbacks is, my answer is yes. I am not here to argue with you or change your mind. All I'm here to do is shine my rings and watch the game. You can do whatever you want to do. You can vote for who you want to vote for. You can. I'm not going to argue with you. It's not a debate. You got your reasons. Your reasons are your own. All I know is at the end of the year, the most important game, there's only two teams playing, and my guy was better than your guy. Period. That's great that he threw for 5,000 yards. That's great he threw for all them touchdowns. Congratulations. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Y'all remember all of them times. Remember them times back in the day when Dallas was whooping everybody's ass. Remember those times back in the day. Every now and then, the Eagles played Dallas pretty good, but most of the time Dallas just had our number. But the times we did beat Dallas, what would be the thing that they would always say? Talk to me when you get a ring. Talk to me when you get to the playoffs. Y'all don't. And what could you say? You would just get pissed. Turnabout is fair play. And this ain't just about the Cowboys, but all them other teams that want to throw all of them reasons why our quarterback is this, our quarterback is that, our team is this, our team is that. I mean, you can even go back and look at all of them people that had so much shit to say when we signed Saquon, thinking we were crazy, how he's lost his mind. Why would you pay an agent running back that's got a history of being injured that much money and every excuse in the world? At the end of the day, and people still said that when we were like 6 and 7 games in, they still didn't believe what Saquon was doing. He's got to come down to earth eventually. So all of them lists, all of those rankings, power rankings, and top fives and top tens, and all, keep it. Not interested. Not interested. Got two, Tiff, and we should have three. We should have three. We got two plays that I look at in that first Super Bowl, that Jalen Hurts' first Super Bowl. The fumble before halftime, which he made up for, but that resulted in the Chiefs having points on the board. So you got to count it, that fumble and that punt return. And I think the punt return was a little bit worse than that fumble. It is what it is. So we were two plays away from having three Super Bowl rings in 5 years. Three. Or was that 7 years? 17? Yeah, 7 years. So we've been in the Super Bowl since 2017, 2022, and 2025. 24. I'm sorry. So that is, you look at all of the other teams and look at all of them other quarterbacks. You look at Josh, you look at Lamar, you look at Matthew Stafford. Stafford, I got to put a little bit higher than everybody else because Stafford actually has a ring. Can't say much. But he's another one that they want to put in that category like he's all world. And you see what happened. We handled him. We handled him. And people, I'm sorry that Jalen only threw for like 240 or 220 or 290. He's not throwing for 400 yards. He's not doing that. Let's look at. I want to see this. I want to see this. I added this up. I need to do another video about that. The amount of yards that were on the couch in the playoffs, and I love that. Let's look at stats and let's look at Matthew Stafford. And I want to look at Let me see. It doesn't have the playoffs though. Yeah, it doesn't have the playoffs. But I mean, look at Stafford. And they want to put him in the upper echelon, but 317, 216, 221, 224, 154. Matthew Stafford did not throw for over 400 yards once this year. One, two. He only threw for over 300 yards twice in the regular season. That's why I want to see the playoffs. I really want to see the playoff games. But still, just like they make too much of it when they want to make too much of it. That's my point. When they want to ding you for it, they'll ding you for it. When they, when I watched Josh Allen win the exact same way that Jalen Hurts did, nobody had anything to say. Nobody cared. Nobody cared. So, you know, everybody's pushing the narrative. They're gonna say what they want to say, how they want to say it. But at the end of the day, we still rocking that ring. That's all that matters. So I'm kind of looking forward into getting into more film study very soon. I'm working on some things, working on some graphics. You see my graphics backgrounds, the intros, all of that type of stuff is changing, getting better with it, getting more comfortable with it. Um, it's some good things coming, and I think we'll be ready to rock and roll when the new season starts. So I'm looking forward to it. But getting better, um, getting ready for this new season is phenomenal. I'm gonna be at camp a couple times this year. I'm playing in the golf tournament next Monday. I'm gonna have to try to pull some strings to get in that Brian Dawkins tournament, man. Everybody was up at that bad boy. So that should be fun. So yeah, 4 seasons and 2 Super Bowls, Tiff. You 100% correct. They want to leave that part out of it all the time. And that's okay. That's okay. I'm not trying to I've passed that. I'm not trying to convince nobody of nothing. Watch the tape. Watch the tape. Was Josh Allen better than Lamar Jackson this past year to win the MVP? Not in my opinion. Watch the tape. Watch the tape. Lamar Jackson should have had 3 in a row. But guess what? He got 2. And Josh Allen got 1. But we got the one that mattered. Keep going back to that. We got the one that mattered. And now all of a sudden that people just kind of shrugging it off. Like, you can't do that. Nah, I'm not going for that. Not going for that. So I can't wait till I start watching film again. Um, I'm gonna do a lot more film stuff this season. A lot more film stuff. I'm trying to get to the point where I'm doing because I see this trend coming. It's not coming, it's here. I'm trying to do more film study, less content. And what I mean by that is I want to do more film study because film don't lie. You can see exactly what it is. Now, if you see exactly what it is and your opinion might differ from mine, opinions are like assholes. Everybody got one. But film don't lie. As opposed to pushing all these narratives that you get from ESPN, NFL Network, Fox, all these other places that clearly do not watch the games. Did y'all see my video from yesterday? Let me see if I can bring it up real quick. Your boy Chris Sims. And this is where I'm like, come on, man, y'all gotta do better than that. Y'all got to do better than that. Chris Sims on his show with Mike Florio called called Bryce Huff a what do you call him, a sack master? He called him oh damn, this is I went to NBC, not mine. Hold on. Here we go. Sack machine. That's what he called him. Called him a sack machine. And I had to stop and I was like, he called Bryce Huff a sack machine. Now, clearly he was referring to um, the year with the Jets where he got 10 sacks. But what I did was I went back and I looked at all the previous years. Tone hit me up to this. Shout out to my guy Tone DeShields. Y'all got to check out my show with me and Tone every Sunday at 11. Me and Tone still carrying through the off season, and we're gonna pick it up when the season starts. But Tone hit me up. I thought Bryce Huff was like in his third year going into his fourth. Like he's going into his sixth year in the league. And I made the point to show that here's his sack totals until he for his career. 2 sacks, 3.5 sacks, 10 sacks, and then back down to 2.5 sacks. So when you calling him sack master, and you in your fifth year, and you got 33 sacks in 5 years. That's not a sack master. When we got some people getting 18 in a season. So clearly, you want to call it a faux pas? Okay, I'll give you that, Chris. But how about you just say what it is and just say he had a great season in 23 where he got 10 sacks, he got double-digit sacks, and then he just did not fit Vic Fangio's system. And he did not perform very well. I did a video of him and it was not good. I watched tape on Bryce Huff and it was not good at all. Because somebody hit me, it was like, how can you say you like Bryce Huff after that you put out that video watching film on him? And I said, I stand on what I said when I did that film session because he was god awful. However, he was getting better until the time he got hurt. So that's how I was looking at it. But still, I'm not going to call him a sack master. I won't say he had a good 2023. And I will say, just like I told Tony the other day, you don't get double-digit sacks out of the blue. They don't just fall to you. You got to put in some type of work. So the kid clearly has talent, but it just didn't manifest. Very similar, if you want to go back a couple years, look at what happened when we got Nnamdi Asomugha from the Raiders. He was a solid defensive back for the Raiders. He got here, and I don't know if we just didn't use him right or whatever, but it didn't work. Just didn't work. And sometimes it happens like that. Look at all of the time Mekhi Becton spent with the Jets, and it didn't work. Then he comes here, and he has a Pro Bowl season. He didn't get to the Pro Bowl, but he probably should have been voted to the Pro Bowl. But he got to the Super Bowl, so he got the one that matters. Why didn't it work in New York? Why did Bryce Huff all of a sudden he get 10 sacks in 2023? What happened in 2023? What happened in 2023 that was different from 2022? Robert Saleh was still the defensive coordinator and the head coach. Did you get a new position coach? Did you get some new teammates? Was it somebody else at nose guard? Like the reason why our defensive line was so successful was because of Jalen Carter. Let's keep it a buck. And then you got Nolan Smith with that speed coming off the edge. They complement each other. And then you got Big Jordan Davis sitting right next to Jalen Carter. They complement each other because you got to figure out who you're going to stop. So, no, Quentin. No. There's no such thing as anything that is overrated because people say overrated when it yields results. and they don't like what's going on. To me, that's like, I mean, that's a legitimate question, but that's like people asking or people saying that the brotherly shove is overrated. Well, does it get results? Was other teams trying to do it and they just weren't successful at it? Yeah. So why is it overrated? It's overrated because we do. People say 4-3, pin your ears back. Why is it overrated if the guy that you need to get to the quarterback gets home? Why is that overrated? Ain't that what he's supposed to do? I think a lot of coaches, and this is just my opinion, I think a lot of coaches have that kind of mentality where they're so big on making their system work as opposed to looking at the talent you have on your field, look at what guys you got and where they are and what they do best, and molding your defensive scheme to what they do best to get the most out of them. I always use that example with Jonathan Gannon when he was talking about Hassan Reddick. His first 4 games, he didn't get a sack because he kept dropping them back in coverage, and they knew good and damn well that's not what Hassan Reddick does. He's not, he's okay at best in coverage, but coming off the edge, getting to the quarterback, that is where his bread is buttered. And when they stop doing that and let him do what he does best, how many sacks did Hassan Reddick had that year? And that's the key to it, man. That's the ego thing that everybody has problems with. That's the ego thing. Coaches got egos, and they wanna prove that their way works. That's what they want to prove. So look at this game stops 27. So look at this, right? And this is why I was so upset. This is why I was so upset with them getting rid of. Yeah, there you go, Quentin. Know your personnel. This is why I was so upset when they let Hassan Reddick walk. And I know the 30-year-old thing, on the plus side of 30. I understand it. I just didn't agree with it. Some people you got to break the rules for because you can look and you can see what's going on. Look at this. In 2020, 12 and a half sacks. In 2021 with Carolina, he got 11 sacks. Then he comes to the Eagles, 16 sacks. He gets 16 sacks his first year in 2022 when we go to the Super Bowl. And then 2023, that bullshit year with Pat Patricia and all of that, Matt Patricia, when all of that stuff happened, what does he do? He still gets 11 sacks. So the last 4 years, 12 and a half, 11, 16, 11, 4 straight years of double-digit sacks. That's what a sack machine does. Consistency. That's what a sack machine does. So, and we let him walk out the door. Now, thankfully, how we had a plan, we got some good players back in, and we didn't miss them. We didn't. But I wouldn't have had no problem. Tell me you don't think that Hassan Reddick would have been better than Jalen Hunt. And I like Jalen Hunt. Jalen Hunt balled out. So that's just my personal bias because I felt bad for Hassan Reddick because they don't want to pay him because he's plus 30 years old. But look at his production. He earned that last contract. He earned it. Everything you want a player to do, every reason that they give players to say, well, we can't pay you because we're not going to pay you that money because he checked every box. And he was a victim of being born a year too early. I wish they would have paid him that money because he earned it. He earned it. Same thing with CJ Gardner Johnson. He overshot his market, but I don't hate him for taking his shot. Shoot your shot. You was tied with the lead with interceptions in 2022. Shoot your shot. You earned that money. Overshot the market a little bit. Teams are not going to do that unless you ask for it. Okay, I agree with you 100%. Something's missing, but um, sometimes it just doesn't work. Another good example of y'all remember, can't remember the year. Y'all remember when we got DeMarco Murray from the Cowboys, running back? It was Chip Kelly's, I think, last season here, and we got DeMarco Murray. DeMarco Murray is a north-south downhill runner. Always been like that. He gets up here, and then we trying to run him from the gun with the sweeps and all of that type of stuff. That's not his style. And then one game, put the QB under center, lined him up 7 yards deep, and they gave him an ISO play that he took about 60 yards and scored. I never forget that. It was like, that's how you're supposed to run him. His his specialty is going downhill. So you know what you do? You adjust your offense to your personnel. You don't make somebody that's a downhill runner go side to side. You don't do that. Miles Sanders was an off tackle, north south slashing type runner. I don't want to see him trying to bounce stuff outside. He wasn't really good at it. Saquon is a different story. He's a different beast. Period. Saquon is a unicorn. I think people forget how big Saquon is. Saquon is like 6'1", 230. He's the size of a linebacker. And he can jump cut and like you really don't get a sense of how fast he is. And because he is so fast and he runs away from people so often, I think people misconstrue how big he actually is. He's close to the size of King Henry, except he's got jump skills and moves like DeAndre Swift. He's got that type of quickness. King Henry is not that fast. Or no, King Henry is not that quick. He's fast, but he's not quick. King Henry's going to run you over. That's his style. Can you imagine if we had Derrick Henry and we was trying to sweep him outside, running from gun formation and trying to do RPOs and all that shit? And what you're trying to do is you taking a downhill runner and you running him left and right first. Then he got to turn up. He's already at a disadvantage. He's already at a disadvantage. You can take a DeAndre Swift and a Saquon Barkley or Barry Sanders or Emmitt Smith or LaDainian Tomlinson, or look at some of the other great backs throughout the years. Look at their running styles. Styles make fights. If the running back that you have is not a super jukey type guy, don't run him outside or don't sweep him outside from gun formation. Because if he doesn't beat the edge, and that's too easy to game plan. That's why you got to mix it up. That's why we ran inside zone so much. Did you notice in the Super Bowl when we kept running that inside zone play and we were causing the safeties to come up because they were not going to let Saquon beat us. And that's exactly what they did. Props to them. Unfortunately, they forgot about a man named A.J. Brown and they forgot about a man named Devontae Smith. It was a risk and they lost that gamble. That's the chess match of the teams. I saw the interview where Spagnuolo said he didn't watch that game for 2 weeks because the Eagles' offense just put it on them. Know your personnel, adjust what you're doing to your personnel, not the other way around. Not the other way around. Yeah. I got you, Kay. He was that dude. He was that dude. And everywhere he went, when Arizona got rid of him, they sent him to Carolina, y'all. Do y'all remember that game when we played Carolina and he sacked Jalen Hurts 3 times? Y'all remember that game? I had to look that one up. I might be shortchanging him. He might have sacked him 4 times, but he was just beasting everybody. And it's like, what are y'all looking at? Keep your homeboys at home. You got a homegrown product right here that is a true sack machine, and you're gonna let them walk, and they let them walk. But we nitpicking. We nitpicking. You know why? Because we got the ring without them. We got the ring without them. So it is what it is. It is what it is, man. So but all right, man. I'm gonna cut this one short. It was still a good conversation, though. Short, quick, to the point. You know how I do at lunch. I'm always short because I got to get back to work myself. But just so you know, I was supposed to do this before, but I decided to wait. These hats, I got another one of these classic Eagles hats. I'm gonna give these away when I hit 10K. I'm gonna have a big party when I hit 10K. Looking forward to that. So we still grinding. We still doing some things. If you don't know, please hit me up. Smash that like button, by the way. Please hit me up on the Twitters. I think I'm gonna start doing Twitter Spaces again. Um, at one point, I tried to do TikTok through StreamYard, and it didn't work. So I don't know. I don't know what the deal is. Saquon's, yeah, we talked about that. We talked about that. I ain't mad at him. Make that money. I ain't mad at him. I ain't gotta like your cheesesteaks. I don't dislike them, but there's just other places that I would go. Quentin, I got a Discord, bro. Hold on. Hold on. Let me see something real quick. All right, I'm gonna go in the Matrix real quick. Hold tight. Here we go. Hold on for a second. I got a Discord. I got a Discord. Uh, I still get. I'm still not like great with Discord yet. Um, so let me see. How can I send this to you? Content creators, Eagles Talk. Marcus Reed, invite people. Copy link. There we go. All right. This is my Discord. I'm gonna put it in the chat. I think I did it right. I think I did it right. It just says Philadelphia Eagles fans, and it's got my picture on it. It's got a picture, one of my action shots in the game. I was wearing number 42. So that's it. You know what? Can I do it over here? Will it let me do it? Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can let me see if I can get StreamYard to get out of the matrix here real quick. There we go. So this is me right here, Philadelphia Eagles fans. So like I said, I got a Discord. So I might have to do that. I might have to do a live stream through Discord. So I kind of had a Discord running in the background. But yeah, it's here, and I get some good back and forth, some good conversations on Discord. Vance, I am not on Twitch. I've thought about Twitch before, um, but I'm also, you got to remember, I'm trying to keep everything streamlined because I don't want to get too complicated. But I'm also exploring a lot of options. I'm trying to get more into TikTok because my following in TikTok is growing pretty good. But I haven't done Twitch, so maybe I might have to try that at some point. But so yeah, um, that's the. Let me see. That was it. I thought I put it in the chat. Hold on, maybe I didn't. Let me try one more time. I don't know if yeah, like I said, uh-oh. Let me see. Eagles Talk text channel. Yeah. I think I did it right. Yeah, I think I did it right. But let me do it again. There we go. Yep, there we go. All right, that did it. Uh-oh, I lost it. There we go. You know what, Darren? I'm trying to TikTok say you gotta have like 10,000 subscribers and stuff. So I mean it's a slow grind. It's a slow grind. But that's my Discord channel. Um join it. I'm always looking to have other conversations in there. I'm trying to get away. Ultimately, all of this is me trying to find a way to build the audience. You know what I'm saying? So I've been very discouraged with like Facebook because I think just people are not on Facebook like they used to be. So I'm trying to get into these spaces where the conversations are good and people will respond and you get a lot of engagement. And through my experience, and it's very brief, I haven't been on Discord for very long. I'm still not comfortable on Discord, but the conversations I have in Discord have been really good. Um, so if y'all want to come to my Discord channel, come in, join up. And I'm still not even sure how to join up. Some people send me messages and I don't know how to retrieve them and all kind of crazy stuff. But in the meantime, just join up. Hit me up here on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe, all that type of good stuff, because we'll keep the content coming. And it's only getting better. It's only getting better. Tonight I will be doing the Indiana Fever game. I do all the Fever games because I like the WNBA, and I do some New York games and a couple other teams. So uh, I'm trying not to overextend myself because I still got a lot of study and a lot of work to do on the other side of it. So, and also it's just me. I produce, I do the graphics, I do the motion graphics, all of that type of stuff. So I'm busy on top of I got a job. So, but in any case, I'm gonna get up out of here, man. Y'all get back to work. That's what I'm gonna do. Appreciate y'all joining me. Hit me up on my Twitter, Coach underscore Marcus '06. If you have any questions or suggestions for the backgrounds, for the graphics, all of that type of stuff, man. I listen to everybody. Everybody, man. I do not know everything, and I can always get better. So hit me up if you got any suggestions or any feedback. I'd appreciate it. All right, I'm gonna get up out of here. I will see y'all tonight if y'all want to come watch the WNBA game with me, and I will talk to y'all later. Peace. Go Birds.